Welcome to another training video with Solar Energy Plus. My name is Adam Mendoza, and I'm doing a video today on the electric grid or the electric transmission companies. Our clients expect us to be industry experts. They want us to provide information, and sometimes some of the information that we need to provide are on subjects that they might not be aware of. So educating our clients helps us. It helps your clients make informed decisions and helps them feel comfortable of the decisions that they are making. So understanding how utility companies work and understanding how the grid works will help us in our business. And electricity is not a luxury. There are some things that are luxuries. For example, I'd like to have a fishing boat, but it's a luxury. It's not something I need, or for some people, it might be a swimming pool. But electricity doesn't operate as a luxury. It's something that we all need just to live life and to function in our home. So we are in an industry that we are providing a service that our clients need. But for most clients, they already have electricity. They already have, their lights turned on, and their homes are willing to function. And so part of what we do is educating the clients of the benefits of solar. Our biggest competitor is not a different solar company. Instead, our biggest competitor is the utility electric transmission companies that already serve our clients. So, letting them know the benefits of solar and letting them know even the negative impact of that an electric utility company can have on their lives is going to be beneficial in making sales and also educating your clients. Now, the electric grid is the biggest machine that was ever created. So the electric grid, it's, when we're thinking of electricity, we're just plugging, whatever it is that we need. But it's a giant machine. It starts off with the generation, whether it's coal, whether it's renewable energy, whether it's hydrogen or a solar farm. But there's a place where it's created, it's being generated, and it's stored, and then it's being transmitted, oftentimes hundreds of miles, where that electricity is being transmitted or transported, and then it's more localized, and where it's being distributed. And when we're dealing with our electric transmission companies, we're dealing with the end of the process. These are the companies that distribute the energy. They're not creating it. They're not even responsible of transporting it across great distance on the most part, but their responsibility is to transmit it, to distribute it to residents or places of business, the industrial, industry, whatever it might be. That's what they do, and uh, there are different types of electric transmission companies, and this is huge because it makes a difference in what our clients pay in their electricity. Now, what a lot of people do not know is that in the United States there are over 1,400 different electric utility companies. 1,400 different electric utility companies. Here in the state of California, there are 31. And a lot of what I'm saying today, I'm going to make reference to companies in California as an example, but a lot of the information would be the same regardless of which state you find yourself or where you sell solar. So here in California, there are 31 different electric utility companies, and um, the electric utility companies, they function as a monopoly. And what I mean by that is, if you were to put gas in your car, you have the option to choose where you want to put gas in your car, right? You could go to Chevron, you could go to Valero, you can go to who knows which other gas company. But that's not how the electric transmission companies work. Based on where you reside, where the home is located at, determines who is going to be providing electricity to your home. So there's not it's like a monopoly. You don't have the option to choose on the most part who's going to be providing your electricity. Um, so so it varies. The same electricity can vary in cost, and the reason for that is because there are five different types of electric transmission companies. You have state-run electric transmission companies. Now, those are not very common, but they do exist in the United States. So those are state-run electric transmission companies. And then you have municipalities. These are more common. We have quite a bit of those even in the state of California, where local communities, local governments, they're in charge of distributing energy to that local community. And then you have what's called a political subdivision. Now, the political subdivision reports to a local municipality, but it's a separate board of directors. It's a separate company, organization that their sole function is to distribute electricity to a local community. Again, it's the benefit of that, it's still a not-for-profit organization. They still report to a local municipality, and their function is to distribute energy to a local community. Then you have another, not very common, but it does exist, a cooperative, and that is a smaller organization. It could be a neighborhood, it could be a small company, whatever it is, but their function is to distribute electricity in a smaller uh, location. And then you have investor owned. Now, as the name implies, an investor owned company it's an investment with the purpose of getting a return, of making profit. And here in California, we have some of the larger electric transmission companies. They are investor owned. You have Pacific Gas and Electricity, you have Southern California Edison Company, you have San Diego Gas and Electric Company. These are uh, investor owned electric transmission companies. And there's a misconception. There's a lot of people that think that when they're getting electricity, that they are getting it from a local provider, that it's a public service. They view it almost like the first responders or a mailman or a street sweeper. There's that misconception that it's a community service, and the reality, when you're getting an investor owned electricity from an investor owned company, it's about money. It's not a necessary service that the city is providing, but it's a company, a corporation that uses the transmission, the distribution of electricity with the purpose of maximizing their profit. So again, um, educating our clients, especially if they're located in an investor-owned neighborhood, about the differences, uh, can help them understand why the cost of electricity is so high, why it's going up so fast. So I'm using as a case study PG&E. PG&E has a distinction of being the most expensive electric transmission company, electric utility company in the nation. They took that spot just in the last few months, and PG&E um, is traded on Nasdaq. Again, they have a board of directors that make sure that they are making profit. You have Vanguard Group that owns 12% of PG&E. They own 276 million shares. You have Fidelity Investments. They own 172 million shares. You have JP Morgan Chase that owns 122 million shares. And JP Morgan, the vast of those shares, they bought them just August or September of 2023. And why do they make these investments of millions of dollars? Because they are expecting to get a return, a positive return on their investment. And that's what these companies such as PG&E, such as San Diego Gas and Electricity, what they try to do is maximize profit for their company. So let's continue to look at this. We are going to compare. We're going to compare two different types of uh, electric utility companies. One of them is a political subdivision. MID is one of the local California companies, and they are a political subdivision. It's a non-for-profit um, political subdivision that reports or to municipalities, and their main objective is to transmit electricity to a local community. So, if you look at the cost with MID, they charge a fixed rate of $31, and then they charge a cost per kilowatt. The lowest they charge is in the winter months, 14 cents, 14.3 cents. And then the most expensive that they charge per kilowatt hours is in the summer of 20.3 cents. Okay, that's what MID. It's published. That's what they charge. This is as of today. Okay. Now, if we were to compare that with an investor-owned public utility company, PG&E, you will see that their base price is more than double of what MID. The same electricity, it's the same power lines. Neither one of these companies are creating or creating the energy. They're just distributing the energy. And here you have 42 cents at the best price, and then up to 52 cents. But that's not all you pay with Pacific Gas and Electricity. If you look on this side, these are all the additional add-ons based on time, based on these different charges. So it's possible that a client can be paying 70 cents. They're paying 4 or 5 times more than a client would be an MID. You could be one neighborhood over, and you're no longer an MID client, now you're a Pacific Gas client, but you're paying 4 times as much. Why? Because it's based on the business model. MID is a not-for-profit political subdivision that their main purpose is just distributing energy. Pacific Gas and Electricity, on the other hand, while they do the same thing, their whole purpose is different. Their whole business model is about maximizing profit. So, just something to consider, something to educate our clients. Now, the other thing that you will notice is um, that the cost increases are quite a bit more when they are a for-profit organization. These political subdivisions or the municipalities, their increases are not as common and they are not as drastic. But you have, for example, PG&E in 2023, their cost per kilowatt hour went up 32%. January 1st of this year, it went up 13%. They have another increase in March, and they're expecting by the end of the year that the total increases for 2024 would to be over 30%. Why? Again, because their business model is about maximizing profit. Um, so this information is as of January 23rd. Fast forward just 5 months, and all of these have gone up over 100% in the prior 10 years. So again, it's not slowing down. Clients that are served by some of these investor-owned companies, they don't know what they're going to be paying in 5 years for electricity. They'll be paying more. They expect to be paying more, um, but they have no idea. So what you and I get to do is we get to provide a service that allows our clients to take control of what they're going to be paying in electricity. Okay, it gives them the one option to break the monopoly. Now they have the option to choose, not using a public investor-owned utility company, but now they have the option to generate their own electricity, whether they're buying their own system or leasing their own system. I've seen it. I've seen clients where they're saving 60% on their electricity. Why? It's the same. It's still creating energy. It's still functioning in their home, but they're getting out of the hands of a investor-owned utility company, and they're taking control of that. So we have the opportunity to help our clients to save money, break the monopoly, and just offer a service that's not a luxury; it's a necessity for our clients. So if you have any questions along the lines of this subject, please feel free to reach out. Thank you. We'll talk later.